Welcome back to Entrepreneurs LGBTQ. And today we are moving from Lima, Peru to Washington, D.C. Actually, one of my favorite cities in the United States. And today we are very happy to have Glenn Reimer with us. Hello, Glenn. How are you?
Hi, Aaron. It's great to see you again. I know it's been about a year since you were here last. It's a beautiful day here in Washington, and we look forward to welcoming you back the next time you make it to the United States.
I'm dying to go back as soon as it's possible, and it's quite safe for everybody to travel. I'm gonna jump in the next flight and be in there with our piscos.
It'd be great.
So we are going to talk about the Rainbow History Project today, and their mission is to collect, preserve, and promote an active knowledge of the history, especially the LGBT history in the United States. So can you tell us more about it?
Yes, it is specifically for the LGBT community history here in the DMV area, and that's not the Department of Motor Vehicles, that's DC, Maryland, and Virginia. About 20 years ago, in fact, it was the first week of November, so we're coming up on the true anniversary, an individual put a note in the paper because he had been looking for history and information, anything, whether it was an oral history or pictures, anything you could find about the history of our community here in the area. And he couldn't find anything. Four people replied to his ad and they got together and started talking about everything. And that was the beginning of the Rainbow History Project. They were all volunteers and they ran the organization then. And to this day, it's still all volunteer run. We have a board of directors, each of whom brings their own specialty or talent from the real world to what we do as a collective, making sure that we find and preserve and share all of that amazing, deep and broad history of the LGBT community here in the area.
Can you tell us how long you are involved with the Rainbow History Project?
Yes, it's coming up on my 1 year anniversary. I had heard about the organization from, they actually had a tent at the Pride Festival last summer. I picked up the card, got onto their mailing list. They sent out a note saying they were looking for more board members. So I wrote and said I'd love to learn more. They invited me to a board meeting. This is back when we could meet in person. Mm-hmm. And at the end of that board meeting, I was so thrilled with it and what they do and the mission that I spoke to the chair board right then and there, said, I'd love to know more. And we actually had an interview during that first board meeting. A month later, they voted on it and I was officially part of the board in December. So in a couple months, it's October 2020 right now, it will be my 1 year anniversary and I couldn't be more thrilled.
Excellent. So I was checking on the website and I see that the Rainbow History Project also offers tours. Of course, now that we are a little bit still on lockdown, I assume those tours are virtual.
They are virtual. You can go to the website, and that's rainbowhistory.org, and you can learn more about those tours. Right now, we have 8 different tours, including African American Experience, DuPont Circle, Capitol Hill, drag in the DC area, women's LBT history. There's so much there. And the walking tours, that's a physical part of it. Mm-hmm. But we also have other collections. There's a digital collection with 4 scans or images of 1,400 different pictures. Mm-hmm. There's also a physical collection that scholars and educators and journalists can access at the Historical Society of DC. So it's digital, it's physical, it's walking tours, it's places and spaces, a database of places that have significant history for the LGBT community over the years.
So tell me about this archive. There are possible to that we can actually, as individuals, reach out at the website and check it out those articles that you've been writing about the history of the Washington area or the United States?
Yes, there's a large digital archive that people can look at online. There's a search engine, so you can put in if you're looking for something specific. A few years ago, a very famous woman who in the 80s and 90s, went to many, many events and recorded everything on videotape. Her family, after her death, donated those to us. So we're in the process of digitizing those now so that we can share them with people. We recently completed a year-long project on the Clubhouse, which was a world-renowned African-American dance club that also had a great social and sports activities for their members. So we're working on that, finalizing that so we can present that to the world as well. We want to understand and gather as much information as we can, whether it's digital or physical or virtual, to share with everyone. So yes, you can go to rainbowhistory.org. And if you're a journalist or a scholar or an educator and you want to talk with our archivist and learn more, you can write us at info@rainbowhistory.org. But the breadth and depth of it, it's really exciting to see.
So yes, again, I invite you to visit their website, because not only for the archives or the tours, the virtual tours, but also this is a great project that you should actually get involved and collaborate. If you collaborate, remember, you are going to collaborate to preserve our history. So Glenn, tell me one thing, because I see a collection of books behind you. What it's all about? Did you read them all?
Well, I wish I could say I read them all, but it is something that I hope to do. I've been doing it more and more during the lockdown right now. A little bit of history. My dad was in the Navy. He joined to see the world and learn more and meet people and experience other cultures. So he did. He traveled the world a lot. As a youngster, I was able to visit him on the ship and sometimes go for short 2 or 3 day cruises. So his love of adventure and his love of history, I inherited all of that. So I started reading about ocean liners as part of history. I think it was just parallel to my dad's love of Navy ships. And as a young adult, I started collecting ocean liner memorabilia, and it really has just turned into mostly books. So those 100, 120 books you see behind me cover the history of ocean liners from the 1800s up to the present day. It really focuses on the 1930s though, particularly 2 ships, but the Queen Mary and the Queen Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. It's a way of exploring history. It's a way of exploring adventure. And right now, while we can't travel safely, it's a way for me to go out and see the world and learn about history that is locked up in those books until we open them, of course, as with any good book. So it's a way to keep my mind active and get ready for the day when we can all go back out and travel and learn again.
Yes, this is a good time to actually to reach out all these hobbies and plan the future, because the future is getting closer and closer. People, we are going out of this lockdown pretty soon. Thank you so much, Glenn, for your time and talking about the Rainbow History Project. Can you repeat the website that actually is going to be down here also?
Absolutely. You can find all of the information Aaron and I have been talking about at rainbowhistory.org. And if you want to learn more, if you're an educator or a journalist or a scholar, or if you want to volunteer, please write us at info@rainbowhistory.org, and your letter will get directed to the board member about your interest. Thanks.
Excellent, Glenn. Thank you so much. And I'm dying to go back to Washington, D.C. and see more streets of that lovely city.
Hopefully you can join us soon, and we'll go out on some of those walking tours when you get here.
Yes, I'm dying. I am now that I'm checking them, I'm dying to take one of those tours. Thank you so much, Glenn. Have a good day.
Thank you for your time.